The Counting Money App in the Cognitive Environment by Val, Abby, Haley, Nate, and Sean.
There are 3 pieces of thinking. The first is ability. The ability to think should not be judged on how fast a student gets their work done or how many questions they answer during class, but by the questions they ask and how deeply they can dig into the problem. The second is sensitivity. We need to be sensitive to knowing when there is a problem, what type of problem is being asked, and how we think about a problem. The third is the inclination, or the actions we take to believe that thinking is important. This relates to our app because we have to apply all of these pieces to the app to be successful at the game, especially when just starting out with the app.
What is visible thinking? In general, visible thinking is learning through our thoughts, promoting open-mindedness and curiosity, developing thinking in social endeavors, externalizing thoughts, and developing a different cultures for thinking. We can make thinking visible in the classroom by using thinking routines. Thinking routines are in all classrooms, and they help manage student behavior and interactions, organize the work of learning, and to establish rules for communication and discourse, and they also structure the way students go about the process of learning. It also promotes students thinking in relationship to what they know, what they want to know, and what they have learned from a lesson or unit. A thinking routine I have seen in my practicum classroom is Think, Pair, Share, where the teacher poses a question and asks the students to take a few minutes to think on it and then turn to a partner to share. We do this during reading, writing, and math. There are a ton of thinking routines to use in your classroom that focus on different ways of thinking. A thinking routine that would work well for our math app, Counting Money, is Connect, Extend, and Challenge. This is a great routine for connecting new ideas to prior knowledge. So when working with the students on the app, make connections to what they already know about counting money, coin, or grouping. Then extend by asking what is new they thought about when working with the money, or what pushed their thinking during the activity. And lastly, what was challenging about what they were learning. Ask if they were confused or had any questions or wonderings. As a teacher, you can use this routine in whole class activities, small groups, and individual settings, so it's very versatile.
Assessment to guide instruction. Formative assessment is very important. It's important for students to understand the role of formative assessment, which is not perfection, but learning, and learning what they're doing wrong and right. Students should know, understand, and be able to know what they do at the lesson's end. So they need to know that they can do it or if they can't do it. So we as teachers can help them out with our feedback and observations. Things like this will help us be better teachers and they be better students. So if we formatively assess and move on to see what the students understand and then give them feedback based on our observations, students will learn much better. Planning for engagement.
Teachers in thinking classrooms. Teachers in thinking classrooms reflect on students' thinking and not merely on how well they performed. After a lesson, you should ask yourself, what was I trying to teach and what did my students actually learn? After reflecting on this, reflect on how you know this. Make sure you have some form of evidence to prove your students learned what you were trying to teach. 2. Teachers need to provide opportunities for students to be experts. Teachers in thinking classrooms should not worry about what their students think or what they might not have thought. If these are the only things we stress, we will not have thinking classrooms. It is the teacher's job to nurture expert thinking. This may be as simple as asking students to share what they think or feel, or as complex as knowing a lesson inside and out. 3. Teachers need to utilize thinking tools. There are a variety of thinking tools a teacher can use. For example, they can use microscopes, manipulatives, books, and even each other. Thinking tools are effective if you teach students how to use them, create time to experiment with them, and have them organized. 4. Teachers need to utilize thinking routines. It is important to balance between providing too much support and too little support. Teachers can use routines that have been proven to work by their colleagues or other teachers. Some routines facilitate expert thinking better than others. If something is not working, it is your job to collaborate with other experts to find something that does.
This app is great for reviewing money, especially adding up certain coins. To get values, we do this a lot in our second grade classroom, but we don't have the iPad in our class to pull this off. Our app helps foster learning. It gives children a chance to look at the coins and come up with different combinations to get the value. So for this one, they'd have 96 and they'd have all these choices to get there. When they add coins, they get a gratifying sound. It helps them a lot learn what they're doing. It sounds kind of like this. And if they want to take off, they click the minus and get that sense of what the coins are going in and out. So the kids are hearing and seeing. It's making the thinking very visible. The great thing about this app is that it is actually an assessment. So when I look at this problem, I actually go, and if I click and got them all right, next slide will look like this, and you can see I have my 3 quarters, my 2 dimes, 0 nickels, and 1 penny. This isn't the only right answer, but it is one. So then I would just click the check, and it tells me correct, and I'm on to the next one. Again, we get those gratifying sounds in between that help us out, and kids get to do it right away. It's instant gratification of what they get. They know what they did wrong. It's immediate feedback, and they can observe what they did wrong. If they do get it wrong, then the wrong comes up, and they get a chance to use the minus and the add again, clicking on the coins, to get right to the right value. This goes back to thinking about what they're thinking. So they can think to themselves, what did I do wrong? As they look and see that they got the wrong answer. This really helps because they get the actual sense of being able to go back, correct themselves, think about learning strategies that they've learned, thinking strategies, things that the teacher has taught them about the lesson. Again, it goes back to the assessment, but it goes one step further in the fact that they get to actually think about what they did wrong and how to fix it for next time. This is our money app. It would be great to implement into schools. iPads are kind of hard to get sometimes, but they probably will be coming. It would especially be good with assessing and making thinking visible because of its qualities. I think this would be a great app, especially for second graders, which I'm teaching with right now.